Hi, and welcome to another edition of Onside SA. Well, it's that time of the year where things are really critical, and the championship has been mapped out over the week. But as always, we start with our only winner on the tournament.
Yeah, Vivian.
Vivian Woodley, do you know him?
Yep, I went to meet. He works for Gary Green.
Oh, for Decoy Doug.
Yeah, so last Friday I went to go and see him, and I didn't know this, but they have a meeting before they make their selections. And the longer it went on...
Collusion,
yeah. But many a time he went on his own, did listen to Gary. That's why Gary goes out after 1 or 2 rounds. But
who goes out earlier, him or Colours?
No, Garth Whitehead's first in, first out.
Yeah. So Vivian Woodley won it on Tottenham.
Yeah. He's a Liverpool supporter. You know, he's going with Gary, his boss, to watch a Liverpool-Southampton game. We're waiting for the fixtures to come out.
Okay.
And we'll go together.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Gary's on that team. And unfortunately, Rion De Jager, William Naidu, Greg Veal, and Alon Kruger. Unfortunately, all draws just about.
Yeah, Paul, just unlucky, all of them.
All of them unlucky.
They've got to 11 weeks.
That's a long stretch, eh?
Paul, that's an outstanding achievement. Even the guys that got to 9 was outstanding,
yeah,
Paul.
Unusual. Well done, of course, to Vivian Woodley. And Bud, you'll be communicating with
them. No doubt.
And doing everything. Let me get that out of the way.
Get the phone out the way, yeah.
Let's get that out of the way. I don't know if that came on. Right, let's look at the Premiership results now. We should have Stevie B. He's from home today, isn't he?
Yep, been at home since COVID interrupted everything.
I'm here. Good morning.
Morning, Steve. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. Yeah, home working for the last 4 months.
Good. Well, now we were obviously going to start talking to you about Fulham. Your beloved Fulham finished 4th. They got a home game against Cardiff on Monday.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't expect... we haven't been in the top 2 at all this season, so although there was sort of a glimmer of hope last night when we saw that West Brom were losing, but it was never going to be, and West Brom only needed that point. But, you know, it was obviously nervy at the end there for everybody.
Yeah, well, that's all the best. We're hoping you come through and then get promoted. It'll be a wonderful achievement again.
No, absolutely. I mean, we beat Cardiff recently at the Cottage. It won't be easy. They're a difficult team to play, very physical. Yeah. They throw the ball in the box, long at every opportunity. And it's, be a couple of tough games. But, if we want to go up, we've got to win games like this. So
have you got a full squad, Steve?
Monday at Cardiff and the following Thursday at Fulham.
Have you got a full squad?
Hopefully by next week. We've only got 1 player out injured. We had 1 suspended. Hopefully they'll both be back. We've got a strong squad, and obviously the opportunity of using 5 substitutes, you hope that will count for something. But look, the playoffs are a bit of a lottery. But we're looking forward to it now.
All right, well, now the Premier League budget, and I've been talking about them. Just look at Tuesday's results. Watford were
woeful, to say the least.
Yeah, Watford.
That's your brother's team, isn't it, Steve?
They are, yeah. I mean, he's pretty convinced that they're going down because, they didn't put up a fight. I mean, City, the trouble is when you play City, City are on song, you can't stop them. Yeah. And actually, they probably did well to keep it to 4. And the goal difference is going to hurt them because obviously they now have got a goal difference of 1 worse than Villa, whereas before they were, that was probably the differential. But no, they've really not shown much form at all. I mean, they scraped a couple of home wins in the restart, but otherwise they've been, and the big game really was last Friday night. I mean, the first half at West Ham, they just totally capitulated their defence.
Yeah. Steve, just staying with Watford for a moment, I don't know what's going on with the chairman and management there that they keep firing people who've done well for them.
Yeah. Well, it's the first time a Premier League club has sacked 3 managers in the same season. And actually, when you look at Nigel Pearson's record, he's got the highest sort of win percentage of managers in recent years. I mean, they were rock bottom when he took over, and he got them, until they sacked him, they were outside the drop zone. But obviously, they sacked him with 2 games to go, and one of them was Man City. So I'm not quite sure what they expected, whether they thought him going would make any difference, and obviously it didn't.
Yeah. The team that went above them was Aston Villa. I watched that game. They're starting to show a lot of fight, Villa, especially obviously now that they could go down.
It was a good win. I mean, Arsenal actually, I thought played quite well, and Villa dug in, and defensively that's been their problem. But they dug in, had a little bit of luck when Lacazette had one off the post, but otherwise they were probably just about sort of deserved it. And I think now they go to West Ham knowing that a point will probably be enough. Will be enough for them.
Talking to West Ham, I don't know if we was on. We had it, yeah. I thought they played well against Man United when drawing 1-1.
I watched it. They played very well. In fact, whether it was they played well or United were just totally lacklustre, but they did play well. In fact, they played well in the last few games. They were very, very good against Watford in the first half, and obviously they cruised to an easy win at Norwich. So, they're playing with a bit of confidence. You sort of think a few games ago when they were, around that bottom three, that people were thinking, oh, this could be the year they go down.
Yeah.
But they've just sort of turned the corner. They've just played, but they've played with a lot of confidence yesterday, and I think that I don't think they're going to make it easy for Villa because they've got nothing to lose now. The pressure's off them.
Yeah. Talking of pressure, Liverpool last night, I thought going forward they were superb. 5-3 victory over Chelsea.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching that in one eye, and obviously with the championship sort of games and the goals of the other. But as you say, going forward, they look like they're going to score, but defensively they're all over the place.
Yeah.
Chelsea had 3, could have had more. It was, I guess, for a neutral, it was good to see lots of goals and attacking football than sort of a boring 0-0. But and they, guess they won. They finished in style. 5 goals in their last home game. I think they'll be pleased. Klopp, I think, was pretty pleased with that.
It was actually a crack. As I said, like you, I was watching the West Brom game until that finished, and I crossed over. It was exciting. Keita's goal was a brilliant goal. I know the defence was a little bit suspect, but hopefully for him, he's been injured all season. He can have a good next season. He can come into it. But
well, I think that I suppose the good thing for Liverpool is that obviously because they're not in Europe, they will actually have a longer break than, say, City, because if City get through against Real Madrid, then they go deep into the Champions League and playing in August. So it gives Liverpool a bit longer to recharge their batteries and be ready for next season.
All right. Now, Steve, as we discussed, we're going to be going through, it's the final week of the Premiership. We'll include you on all our matches. So we're going to kick off with Arsenal at home to Watford. Good things, Arsenal?
I haven't seen anything from Watford to suggest they could get anything out of that game. I mean, it's a game they have to go and get a point and hope that they can do better than Villa. I'm not sure they can. I think Arsenal, buoyed by their cup win, they want to finish on a high, and I think Arsenal will just be too strong for Watford.
Just to qualify this, what happens if Aston Villa get beaten 2-0 and Watford get beaten 1-0?
I think Watford would be ahead of them.
Yeah, it's goal scored.
That's my understanding.
Yeah,
so, it's going to be tight. I think it is going to be tight. But I think for Watford, conceding those 4 goals against City, I think that could be the thing that really hurts them.
And just mathematically, what I'm getting my ducks in a row here, Steve, if Bournemouth go out and win 3-0, they become minus 24.
Yeah.
And they go to 34 points. Yeah, they're immediately safe.
Yeah, they can be
safe.
Well,
actually, Bournemouth, if both Villa and Watford lose, even by a goal, Bournemouth only have to win by 1 goal.
Yeah.
So it's that tight. And I think everyone's written Bournemouth off, but they could go to Everton and get a win. I don't think they will. I don't think they've been playing that well.
Yes.
But they've got to go for it. They've got nothing to lose. They have to win and hope that neither of the others get a point, because obviously if they do, they're down. So it's totally out of Bournemouth's hands now.
Yeah. So let's go.
So Steve, you're taking the 11-10 Arsenal.
I am. I just think that I think Arsenal will be too strong.
Okay, on to Burnley versus Brighton.
Nothing to play for, eh?
None of these teams, but Pride. I think this
Burnley can, I think Sean Dyche is looking for a top, potentially could even get, top 8.
Yeah.
I think they'll finish strongly. I think apart from that 5-0 reverse at the Etihad, they've been pretty strong, and I think they will be too strong for Brighton.
Who's going to win the Golden Glove?
I think it could be. I think if Burnley's goalkeeper keeps a clean sheet, he'll win it.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, he's a good goalkeeper. He's got a big defence in front of him, but he makes some really good saves, Nick Pope.
Yeah.
Steve, I know you like Burnley. I haven't really been impressed. I know the results have been great, but Brighton away from home have done better than at home. They've won 1 and drawn 5 of the last 6. I don't think this is nailed on a Burnley victory.
No, I think you're right. I don't think it is, but I just think that I don't think there'll be much in it at all. I'm going for Burnley by 1 goal.
All right. Right, I like the draw 24-10. Now, one of the other big games is Chelsea versus Wolves.
It's a massive game.
Yeah, Chelsea, I thought, were great going forward, defensively, conceding 5 goals. And Wolves, the dangerous team, Wolves, yeah.
This is a lot to play for here. Chelsea only need a point to get Champions League football, because obviously with Leicester playing United, the way it works out. In fact, Chelsea could lose and still stay in the Champions League if United win. But whereas Wolves can't afford to slip up, because then they could get overtaken by Tottenham, and that could be crucial. So I think there is a lot to play for here. I think Wolves are a hard team to beat, as we know. I think Chelsea will do enough to get that point, and that will be enough for them to get into the Champions League. Might not be enough for Wolves, though.
Quick question here, Budge.
Yeah.
Leicester City, they go out and they beat United.
If they beat United and Chelsea draw, United are gone.
If Chelsea lose, that's my question.
Okay, yeah, then United are in.
And United lose 1-0.
Yeah, United are in. Well, Chelsea got the worst goal difference by some margin.
Okay.
United got the goal difference.
Okay, that clears that up.
I think this will be a cagey game, Steve, because Wolves always start slow and Chelsea are always quick out the blocks.
Yeah.
So if Wolves don't win and Spurs win, Spurs finish 6th.
Yeah.
Correct.
So I think this will be the second half, could be fireworks.
Yeah, this will be some good football to watch on Sunday.
In a way, I mean, obviously with the restart, everyone was questioning what it was going to be like. But actually, you think both the Premier League, apart from the title, below that and the Championship, it's really gone to the wire. And there's a lot of games. There's a lot of matches and things at stake going into it. So. I think Chelsea Wolves will be cagey, but I think neither can afford to lose really. Yeah. So but on the other hand, Wolves I think probably do need to go and win, because the draw might be enough for them.
Yeah. Okay. So I fancy the draw too. I don't see Wolves getting beat. Steve, Crystal Palace, who've lost 7 in a row.
Well,
play against Tottenham.
7 defeats in a row. Tottenham know that a win for them and anything other than a win for Wolves, and they finish in 6th place and guaranteed Europa League football. Yeah. I thought the way that Tottenham played in the first half against Leicester, I think if they play like that, they should win at Palace. Palace have been very disappointing. I mean, they started off with a win on their first game of the restart, but 7 defeats in a row. Can't buy a goal hardly. I just think Roy just wants that season to finish, and start again. They've been very disappointing.
Yeah, it should be Tottenham all day, I think. And I think Tottenham to win by more than 1 is 12-10, so that's worth looking at as well.
But Crystal Palace have to turn it.
I think if they get that first goal, I think they could do. And let's say Tottenham need a win. A draw isn't really might not be enough for them, so I think they'll go for it. It could be a good. I think Palace don't score many goals at all. I think that, but I think Tottenham capable of 2 or 3.
Okay, now a team who's got nothing to play for against a team that has everything to play for. Everton against Bournemouth. Can you see an upset?
I'm not sure I can. I don't think I haven't been overly impressed with Bournemouth. Probably a bit unlucky with the goal disallowed against Southampton, but really, apart from that second half against Leicester when Leicester imploded, I haven't seen much from Bournemouth at all to suggest that they could go to Everton and win. And Everton, put in a pretty solid performance winning at Sheffield United. So I think Ancelotti will want to finish on a high. I wouldn't be at all surprised if Everton actually win that.
Yeah, I agree. 9 consecutive away defeats for Bournemouth. I think this will be number 10. You're right about Ancelotti. He must have read the right act, because against Sheffield United, they played well. They fought hard, and I think there's a few guys playing for contracts. So I think.
Well, I think that the understanding I have is that Ancelotti has been promised money. Again by the new owners, and I think that, as you say, he will want to strengthen that squad. So there are going to be 2 or 3 players who might not be in the starting lineup next year.
Yeah, Everton all day for me. Steve, on to the big game of the weekend, especially if you're a Man United fan. Leicester, Man United. Can United get the draw?
I think Leicester, obviously sort of missing a couple of key players. I mean, Maddison has had an operation. Chilwell's out. Fuchs is out as well. I mean, you have to think that they might not be strong enough. But United have just lost something. They've just lost that. It's almost like the legs have started to go. They were on fire beginning of the restart, but they've looked very leggy. I thought they were very pedestrian yesterday. There didn't seem to be any urgency against West Ham.
Yeah, I agree.
When they got the equaliser, you thought, right, they'll press on and win this, but they never really sort of took control of it, and I was very disappointed with the way that they went about that game. So I think United might just do enough. But Leicester have got to go for it. They know they have to win, and therefore I think it could be an exciting game. I think there'll be goals, but I just think United will probably just do enough to get that point.
Yeah, I hope you're right, Steve, but I agree with you. Since that Thursday night game at Crystal Palace, lucky to get a result there. Disgraceful again the cup against Chelsea, and I was really disappointed last night.
Second half.
Yeah, the other thing is, if they'd won last night, they'd have gone 2 points above Chelsea, so that made Chelsea have to win to go above us, even if we lost to Leicester. And the commentators ranting and raving about United just needing a point. Yeah. I think this is a terrible game for United.
You don't want Leicester fighting for their lives.
They can play Leicester, and if they get on top, I know defensively they're suspect, but I think this is a troubling game for United.
Well, again, it's as you say. I mean, they've thrown points away, United, haven't they? I mean, obviously that 96-minute equaliser by
Southampton
for Southampton, I think, really hurt them. And since then, they've just lost an edge. I don't know what he was doing with his formation against
Chelsea.
Chelsea in the cup. I mean, that really. I know he might have been thinking, well, I'll save my best three of my best players for the league, but you want to always play your best team, and they just lost shape totally. And I think Pogba has had a couple of poor games now, and the penalty he gave away. I think Gary Neville, I don't know if you hear that, but Gary Neville's sort of commentating was apoplectic with anger at the way that Pogba just put his hands up to protect himself. He did, school children are taught not to do that, so
he was
could have really cost them.
Yeah. All right. Talking the other Manchester club, Man City, surely. Can Norwich City score? That's the question, Steve.
No.
Yeah, to be honest, they haven't looked like scoring in many games, have they? You have to think, if City really want to finish on a high, they could get half a dozen. Yeah. It depends whether he's going to rest any players to protect them for the Real Madrid game. I think he's got such a big squad that he can chop and change a bit. I mean, it was obvious that he put out a strong team the other day. I think David Silva will obviously start. It's his last game for City, so he'll want to play. Might make him captain for the day. But I think whatever team they put out, they're going to be far too strong, and I wouldn't be surprised they win by sort of 3-4 or more.
Yeah, I agree. I just think, with the Real Madrid, I think it's on the 8th, Steve, 8th of August, the game. Yeah,
they've got a while to go yet. Yeah. So I don't think you want to risk injuries, but he might not want to risk De Bruyne, for example. But he'll play. Look, he can put out, as we know, he can rest 2 or 3, he can rest Sterling, rest De Bruyne. It shouldn't make any difference. But then, and actually, I think you've got something, because it was that game at Norwich that that really started the sort of rot for City. That nobody expected that defeat. And Norwich were good value, sort of with their attacking football, and sort of Pukki came to everyone's consciousness. But so you might want to revenge that. But actually, the way they played at Watford, if he play like that again, it's going to be anything after 4 or 5.
Yeah, if I was him, I'd play my team. I'd like to play against Real Madrid, play them for an hour, and then obviously take the Sterlings, De Bruyne's off. But whichever way, they should be too good. Yeah. Now, Newcastle play champions Liverpool. Any chance of an upset?
No chance.
I'd be surprised. I mean, Jurgen Klopp made a point last night saying people would expect his team to be on the beach. He actually, sort of used that expression, which I thought was funny for him to do that. And he made a point by playing a strong team. And I think he'll play a pretty strong team. I think they want to finish on a high. Newcastle are pretty safe. They started the restart quite well, but they've sort of fallen away a little bit. I think Liverpool, if they want to, they'll be a little bit too strong.
Okay, now a game I don't really want to watch is Southampton versus Sheffield United. How do you see that?
Give me your point and go, don't play.
Yeah, I've been very impressed with Southampton since the restart. I mean, obviously Danny Ings has been on fire. Another few games that he could probably have sort of caught up with Vardy and Aubameyang and been the league top scorer. I mean, every time he gets that ball in near the area, it looks like he's going to score. you know, Chris Wilder's done a marvellous job at Sheffield United. They've missed out on a Europa place now, but I think they'll want to finish on a high. But I think I've just been very, very impressed with Southampton. I think as the restart has gone on, they've actually looked stronger to me. Yeah. You know, they played very well at United. Played well, really. I thought dominated the game against Bournemouth, deserved to win. So I wouldn't be at all surprised if Southampton might just edge that.
I think a draw is a big player. And last but not least, Steve, West Ham at home to Aston Villa.
Shocking away record.
Well, you know, as we say, West Ham are safe now, but they didn't stop them putting in a very good performance last night against United. Villa know that they need to match Watford. I have a feeling West Ham might just win that, but by a goal, and that might not be enough to save Watford. So it's going to be close, but I think if West Ham play as they have in the last few games, I think they could be too strong. And they seem to be, you know, I think some of them are playing for places as well for next season. I think they'll want to try and strengthen. So I think it'll be an interesting game. You know, Villa don't really want to go there and just shut up shop and hope for the best, because
they've got to have a go.
Yeah, they've got to have a go. So yeah, I think it'll be an entertaining game.
Yeah, I think the betting's the wrong way round. I can't believe West Ham at home is 21-10. I think that's a great price.
That's my other bet.
All right. So what's your best bet, Steve?
Steve, best bet?
That was the Arsenal. I just think that they're going to be far too. I haven't seen anything from Watford to suggest they could get anything there.
Okay.
That's your worst bet?
I know. Worst bet. And your value bet is West Ham, Steve?
Sorry?
Is your value bet West Ham?
Yeah, West Ham.
Yeah,
I think
totally agree.
Good on the way they're playing.
Well, Steve, let's hope when we talk to you next, you're still going with Fulham.
Well, look, it's in our hands. It'll be interesting because obviously everyone was talking about Brentford. We're going to do it. They won the first 7 in a row. They've now lost 2 in a row. They looked shell-shocked at the end of the game last night. They've lost to Stoke and Barnsley, and they go in to play against a Swansea team that have really come from nowhere in the last few games and have, they've got a bit of momentum. So I don't think that'll be easy for Brentford, but everyone's fancying them. I just think that we've got the squad, we're capable of doing it, but it's how we apply ourselves.
Yeah, one-off game, I think you beat them. I watched Brentford against Preston. I wasn't impressed. Preston outplayed them for like 90 minutes by the first 5, yeah? So I haven't been impressed with them.
I think the pressure has got to them a bit.
Yeah, it has.
At the beginning of the restart the plan, as you say, they were scrappy against Preston, and they've lost to Stoke and Barnsley. And the had they won that game, they'd have gone up. So you just think if the pressure's got to them. So we'll see what happens. You know, the playoffs can be very, it's an exciting way to go up. Yeah. So which we know.
Steve, one last question from my side. When will the league restart?
They're talking. They haven't actually announced the definite date, but it looks like it's going to be round about the second week of September.
Far out as that. As far out as that.
Because they've got the Champions League in August, haven't they?
Yeah, they've got the Champions League in August, and in fact, it looks like there's scheduled to be an international week before the season starts. Okay. I'm sure clubs aren't happy about that because they'll lose their players. You know, England players and all the other teams will lose their players for a few days. So. If City go deep into the Champions League, they're going to have very, very, very short time before the season starts. Whereas Liverpool, from Sunday, their players are off. They can have a bit of a break and then, go into a full pre-season.
Lovely. All right, Stevie.
Thank you very much.
Everything of the best. Thanks very much, Steve.
Pleasure. Yeah, talk to you next week.
Okay, there we go.
Cheers. Bye.
Right, Budge, Soccer Sixers.
Yep. Well, it's all on Sunday, Paul, because the Italians on Sunday, and then it's the last week of the Premiership. So it comes up. The first game, Leicester, Man United. I've gone all 3. Could go. Not impressed with the United, so I've gone all 3 there. Likewise, the Chelsea Wolves game, and that could go either way. I've gone all 3 there. I think Spurs will be too good for Crystal Palace. Liverpool should be too good for Newcastle, and I've gone Southampton win and draw at home against Sheffield United. And I don't trust Arsenal, Paul, so I've thrown the draw in at home against Watford, 2-1-6.
Okay, that's the first one.
Second one is the Italian one. I bank at Juventus with 5 win and draws. I've gone Bologna, win and draw at home against Lecce. Roma to win and draw at home against Fiorentina. I've gone Hellas Verona at home against Lazio, win and draw. Then I've gone for Torino to win or draw at relegated Spal. I don't see Udinese losing at Cagliari, and I think Juventus should be too good for Sampdoria. 192.
How about the 10?
On to the 10, Paul. Yeah, Arsenal win and draw at home against Watford. I've gone Burnley, win and draw at home against Brighton. Look for upset, but I think Wolves can avoid defeat at Chelsea. Spurs should be too good at Crystal Palace, and I fancy Everton to beat Bournemouth. Second page, I've gone the field in the Leicester-Man United game. I think Man City will outclass Norwich. I expect Liverpool to win at Newcastle United. I've gone the field in the Southampton-Sheffield United game, and I don't see West Ham United losing at home against Aston Villa. 288.
All right, the big one.
On to the 13, Paul. There's a few Swedish games to kick off. I've banked at Halmstad to beat Acropolis. I've gone Jönköping Södra to beat Brage. I've gone the field in the Trelleborg's Dalkurd clash. I've gone the field Leicester City versus Man United. I've gone Wolves win and draw at Chelsea. I've banked at Arsenal to beat Watford. Tottenham to win at Crystal Palace. Second page, I've banked at Everton to beat Bournemouth. West Ham win and draw at home against Aston Villa. Man City should be too strong for Norwich. Likewise, Liverpool should be too strong for Newcastle. I've gone Southampton win and draw at home against Sheffield United, and ended with Burnley win and draw at home against Brighton, 288.
Okay, Budge, what are your best bets?
My best bet, I fancy Everton to beat Bournemouth, and I've gone with West Ham too. I can't believe that price.
The boys are the West Ham boys, eh?
Yep, yeah, especially the way they're playing.
Budge, the main page for me.
Yeah, on to our bets. I've gone Tottenham to beat Crystal Palace, and I've gone West Ham to beat Aston Villa. I've gone Wolves to win or draw at Chelsea, and I've gone Everton to beat Bournemouth and over 1.5 total goals, Paul. 22-1, 4,400 to 200. You know, we're limited bets this week, Paul. So I've gone anytime goal scorer. I think Son Heung-min will score for Tottenham. I think Sterling, as long as he's not injured, will score against Norwich. And I like Gylfi Sigurdsson at a price to score for Everton against Bournemouth.
Does he take penalties?
He takes the penalties and he takes the free kicks. He takes everything. So 20-1, Paul. Okay. Worth an interest.
A lot hinging on Spurs.
Yep. Teams only, goals quartet.
Explain that to the public.
Yeah. Well, Everton, Tottenham and Man United all have to score over 1.5 goals. That was a bet that landed.
Everton, Tottenham
and Man United to score over 1.5 goals. And I've gone Man City to score over 3.5 goals.
Wow.
At 2,400 to 200. Yeah, they outclassed Watford. And if they can't score 4 past Norwich, well, then I'll be disappointed. Both teams to score sides are Arsenal, Watford, Chelsea, Wolves, Everton, Bournemouth, Leicester, Man United, and Southampton, Sheffield United, 2,300 to 200.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Italian league, which is the last major league going. I've gone Bologna to beat Lecce. I've gone Inter Milan to beat Genoa and over 1.5 total goals. I've gone Juventus to beat Sampdoria and over 3.5 total goals. And I've gone Hellas Verona to win and draw at home against Lazio, 2,900 to 200. Collis King 6 on extra. I've gone Everton to beat Bournemouth, Man City to beat Norwich, Tottenham to beat Crystal Palace, Bologna to beat Lecce, Inter Milan to beat Genoa, and Juventus to beat Sampdoria, 3,000 to 200.
Sounds good, Budge. Sounds good. You've been tickling them up a bit, so well done. And as we heard Steve say, it'll probably be in September we get started again this league because of the fixtures, and we'll be doing a big last one standing then. Well done to the winner. Was it Vivian Woodley?
Yeah, Vivian, yeah.
Well done to him and Decoy Doug. And great watching on Sunday. It's 5 o'clock, eh?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. Every single game on 5 o'clock to find out who's going to stay up or who's going down.
Paul, I don't know if you've looked at this, but if Arsenal win the FA Cup, the team that finishes 7th doesn't qualify for the Europa League. So
yeah, but Chelsea's got to win it.
Yeah, but if Arsenal do win it, then Tottenham could have a problem. Well,
yeah, I know. I've looked at all the scenarios. You know, I know Chelsea have to win the FA Cup.
I think Chelsea beat Arsenal anyway. So you
never know. Arsenal haven't been too bad apart from losing the other day to who was it to
Aston
Villa. Yeah. All right, so that's the story. Until next time, stay on side.